Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel, yeah. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new.
Hey beautiful people, this is your girl Shimon Monet. Thank you so much for checking out this tutorial, which is going to be on this look, a simple classic holiday glam, just a nude eye, red lip, classic, right? Right. So if you're interested in seeing how I created this look, then just keep on watching. Thanks.
Alright, so let's jump right into this tutorial. For the sake of time, I cut out the clip of me doing my eyebrows, but if you are interested in seeing how I fill them in, I do have a recently updated tutorial on my channel. So I'm using my LA Pro Concealer in the shade Toast to clean up my brows, and I'm also bringing it all the way down over my lids just as a base, and I'm going to set it with powder, and we're going to move right on to the shadow look. So for this eye look, I'm only using one palette. This is the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. It's extremely pigmented. The colors are gorgeous. So if you're considering this palette and you're wondering if it's worth the money, yes, it is definitely worth the money. So I'm going in with this first shade and I'm applying it in my crease and a bit above my crease. I have hooded eyes, so I have to make sure that I go above the crease a bit so that the shadow is still visible when my eyes are open. Next, I'm going in with this light brown shade, placing that right below that transition shade, and I'm going to also work it into the outer V a bit. This is just going to help build the gradient effect of the eye look. And as you can see, I'm bringing it down into the outer V area of my eye as well. So I'm using a lighter shade. I think it's like creamy beige or pure beige, just a really light concealer. And I'm going to take a small flat concealer brush and I'm going to use this to carve out my crease. This is not going to be like a really sharp cut crease look, but I do like doing this sometimes just so that I can get a really crisp application for my eyelid color. So again, I have hooded lid, so I typically start putting the crease right where my natural crease is, and then I'll check, and then I'll take it up a little bit higher. So right there, as you can see, when I open my eye, it's not quite high enough. So I'm going to go back in now and just go a little bit higher than my natural crease. And this is going to make my lid color that much more visible at the end. Don't worry, guys, this takes practice, especially for us hooded eye folks. The first couple times I did a cut crease, I wasn't really feeling it, but again, it takes practice. So I'm just blending that concealer in to those transition shades a bit. I'm not taking this concealer all the way to the end of my eye, but I am taking it about 3/4 the way, over on my lid. So I'm taking this beautiful, like champagne shimmery shade, and I'm going to place that all over where I just applied the concealer. I didn't set the concealer with any powder. I'm just going directly in to the eyeshadow and placing it on my eyelids. And cutting the crease also helps to give me a guideline so I know exactly where I want to place the shadow. And it also makes it the base of my eye tacky with the concealer. So the eyeshadow is just like sticking to it and it helps it pop. Just using my fingers to blend the eyeshadow in a bit more. Sometimes with certain shades, I notice that it will kind of gather or bunch up on my eyelids, and I don't want that to happen. So that's why I saw that starting to happen. So I just used my fingers to blend it out. So next I'm going in with a clean M139 Morphe brush. It's just a tapered blending brush, and I don't, like I said, I don't want this to be like a harsh cut crease. So without any product on my brush, I'm just blending out the inner and that portion of my crease because I don't want it to be so sharp. Now I'm going to go in and take that first shade we used and place that right back where I did originally in the crease to work it in again, just to soften up that crease a bit. And these shadows are extremely pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. So I'm making sure to blend it in and also not to put too much on the brush because otherwise I'd be messing up the look. Taking that second shade again, and I'm going to just blend that lid color into my crease. And as you can see, I kind of went a little crazy on that eye and I brought that color in a bit too far. So I'm just going to clean it up. Going back in with my, oh, that's the e.l.f. brush. I don't think I said it, but that's the e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Just going back in with that brush. And I'm going to blend those two shades together so it just flows. Then I'm going to take this darker brown and put that in the very outer portion of my eye and work it into my crease, but just in the outer V area. So as you can see, not a lot of eyeshadow colors are being used. It's pretty simple, but because of that eyelid color, being so light and shimmery, it really just makes the eyes pop. And then all of the other colors just help to bring the look together. So now I'm going over the entire crease area with that brush to blend everything together. I'm switching to the first crease brush that I used. I haven't put any more product on it, but again, I'm just trying to soften up the crease a bit more to my liking. So now that I'm content, I'm going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. Jumbo, I forget exactly what they call it, but it's the Jumbo pen, and it is a liquid eyeliner. So I like using this for my actual lid to get that portion of the liner straight, and then I'm going to go in with a liquid e.l.f. liner to do the wing. So that sums it up for the eyes. Now we're going to move on to the face. I was wearing a turtleneck, so I just wanted to pull that down so I don't get any foundation and powder on my turtleneck. So I'm going to prime with my Maybelline primer. I'm like forgetting the name. Blur and Smooth. And I already had cleansed my face and already had vitamin E oil on my face prior to filming. So now I'm going in with this primer and the Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser. I'm going to put that right where my pores are the largest. For foundation, I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me in Dewy and Smooth in Coconut and Mocha. Coconut is a little bit too light. Mocha is a little bit too dark. So I do have to mix the two. But I love the finish on this foundation. So I've been kind of, experimenting and switching up, trying to use different foundations and, using different methods. If you guys are familiar with my channel, then you know typically I'd go in first with my concealer and then foundation. But yeah, I'm just switching it up a bit. So I'm actually going to put foundation over my entire face first, but I'm not going to put a lot underneath my eye. I'm not going to really bring it all the way up to underneath my eye, just because I do tend to crease underneath my eyes already. So I don't like to have a lot of product built up in too many layers. So I sprayed my brush with the e.l.f. Mist Set, and I am just working the foundation, blending it together and working it into my skin. And I'm just using my fingers to blend it in a little bit more because I didn't want to get it all into my hairline with the brush. So now that that is all blended out, going in with Fawn to highlight. And then I'm going to go in with Toffee just directly in the inner part, under the innermost part of my eye. Right there. Because I don't know if that made sense when I was trying to explain it. Spraying my face with my Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray and spraying my Beauty Blender with some more e.l.f. Mist Set. And that's just going to help this melt into my skin and be that much easier to blend out. And I like to use Toffee right in the inner part of my eye just to give that like light brightening effect. But Fawn is still a nice shade as well, so that's why I started using both of them in that way. So I'm going back in with the foundation brush. Nothing's on it, but I'm just blending out any harsh lines, making sure everything is seamless. Next, I'm going to set the highlighted areas with my Sacha Buttercup powder. And then I'm going to set the rest of my face with my black Opal powder in dark. Now to contour a bit, using the Black Radiance contour palette in medium to dark. Just chiseling out my cheeks, slimming up that jawline, and I'm just going to lightly contour my nose. Yeah, I know I'm really big on blending, so I'm going back in with a large fluffy brush just to blend that highlight powder out. For blush, I'm using my Juvia's Place Saharan palette, volume 2. And yeah, I love that shade, like, love, obsessed. So pretty. It's so pretty. Going in with my first highlighter, e.l.f. bronzer in Warm Tan. Putting it down the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow. And just taking a small detail brush to pop that into my inner tear ducts. Taking that same highlighter with the e.l.f. highlighting brush, putting it on the highest points of my cheek, right above my eyebrow bit, And I'm not going back for more, but whatever's left on the brush, just lightly dusting it on the middle of my forehead and my chin. Going in with this oldie but goodie, my Makeup Revolution bronzer in Rock On World, just to amp up this glow. And it has more of a golden tone, whereas the first one is more like silverish. Y'all see that glow, right? Y'all see it? Yes. And once again, going back in to blend it all together. I want to glow, but I don't want to just look like a runway, just a landing strip. So I'm blending it back in, setting my face with Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray, as well as the Skindinavia finishing spray. Now moving on to the lips. This lip duo is by the Bold Cosmetics brand, which is an independent black-owned makeup brand. They're fabulous. All the sets come with a lip liner and a matte lip gloss. And I believe she's recently launched some like regular, like shiny glosses, not just matte. So I'll be sure to link the information to the site so that you guys can definitely check them out and support them. So here I am just lining my lips first, making sure that I define my cupid's bow very well. And I like to just kind of bring that liner, kind of fill in my lips a bit. I'm not going to fill in my entire lips, but I really want to just make sure that the liner is perfect because this is my guide. It's like coloring, making sure I don't color outside the lines. Even though I'm going to get a little excited and I'm going to mess up, but I'm also going to fix it. So I put a clip in of that. My bottom lip was perfect, and I got a little carried away on the upper lips. But I just put a little bit of foundation on the back of my hand, mixed it up again, and took a small detail brush and just fixed it. So that's the great thing about makeup. If you make a mistake, you can fix it. Some mistakes are easy to fix, and some are a little bit harder, but nonetheless, everything can be fixed. So I'm just taking this small brush right here, and it wasn't like crazy, but yeah, I got a little carried away. So I'm just cleaning it up. And I'm just going to throw in some lashes, and that's the look.
Alright, beautiful people, this is the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for rocking out with me. My lashes is giving me a little bit of technical difficulty, so I just had to go ahead and speed that up and get these bad boys on. Just to complete the look, I'm trying to get better with lashes. Y'all know for the longest I didn't even wear them. Now I'm starting to wear them. I'm forcing myself to practice, and I am getting better. So you'll be seeing me rocking these lashes more often than not. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that it gives you some inspiration for the holidays. I hope that everyone has a safe and blessed holiday season, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate at all, I still hope that you are safe and blessed. And until next time, guys, bye.